Welcome back to 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Nicole Gitsky. We'll begin with another deadly day in Kern County. We are approaching a grim milestone as we near 1,000 deaths due to coronavirus. We learned today 18 more people lost their lives to the virus. January is now our deadliest month on record. Most of the deaths reported today happened in January. One of them dates back to August of last year. 982 people have died in Kern County since the virus in the last 12 months. Meantime, Public Health also reported 199 new cases. State data shows 106 people are in the hospital with COVID-19, 34 are in the ICU. And big news on coronavirus-related restrictions from the state, with the California Department of Public Health saying counties in the purple tier, like Kern, along with those in the red tier, will soon be able to reopen breweries, wineries, and distilleries. That new guideline takes effect Saturday. The modifications include ensuring that patrons have reservations and patrons observe a 20-minute time limit. However, bars that do not serve food are still ordered to remain closed. And some pharmacy chains around town are opening up access to COVID-19 vaccines to more people. Rite Aid says it's expanded eligibility for teachers, school staff, and child care providers, and they will be administering shots exclusively to people in those professions today. Now, to schedule an appointment, head to riteaid.com/COVID-19. And of course, it's important to know if you qualify to get the vaccine before trying to schedule. Those eligible to receive a vaccine at all locations include anyone ages 65 or older, healthcare workers and first responders, plus teachers, childcare workers, those in emergency services, and people who work in the food and agriculture industry. And beginning Monday, anyone between the ages of 16 to 64 with certain health conditions, people with developmental disabilities, and those whose living spaces or work environments put them at higher risk for COVID-19, and public transit workers can all get the vaccine. And if you're in one of those eligible groups, you can sign up for a vaccine appointment using the state's website, myturn.ca.gov. You can also call 833-422-4255 to schedule an appointment. And though yesterday marked a year since the beginning of the global pandemic, next Wednesday will mark 1 year to the day of our first confirmed COVID-19 case in Kern County. On that day, be sure to tune in to 17 News at sunrise for a special 1-hour newscast on the coronavirus. We're taking a look back at our community's journey through the pandemic and associated lockdowns and remembering those we've lost. Again, that's next Wednesday, March 17th on 17 News at sunrise. And after a year into the COVID-19 pandemic, Kern has lost nearly 1,000 residents to the deadly virus. We have created a space for the community to honor their loved ones by uploading their photos and sharing their names and memories. Head to our website, kget.com, and click on the hot link icon to do so. Now to your 17 Crime Watch. Police seize a marijuana cultivation this morning in East Bakersfield. According to the Kern County Sheriff's Office, it happened around 8:45 on Denson Lane and Eucalyptus Drive. From the video, it shows KCSO, Fish and Games, and Probation were all on scene. KCSO confirms deputies served a search warrant for the marijuana cultivation. And a teenager was arrested on murder charges last night after a man was shot and killed in East Bakersfield. It happened in the parking lot of the Tacos La Villa restaurant on Union Avenue, just north of East California Avenue. The call came in just after 10 p.m. for a victim of a shooting with major injuries. 32-year-old Juan Manuel Andrada Fernandez Jr. was pronounced dead at the scene. According to BPD, officers spotted 19-year-old Manuel Madrid fleeing the scene and arrested him on murder charges. A gun was also recovered. Police say a second person was involved in the shooting and remains at large. If you know anything about this shooting, you're urged to contact BPD at 327-7111. And a car thief was arrested in Tehachapi yesterday after stealing a car out of its owner's driveway. Police say the theft happened early in the morning on Kelton Street. According to police, the owner started the car and went inside while the vehicle warmed up. A short time later, the owner saw a man get into the car and drive off. Tehachapi police eventually found the car in an open field next to a mobile home park on East Tehachapi Boulevard. The suspect, 31-year-old William Bates of Tehachapi, was found in one of the mobile homes and booked into jail. And new information on a rollover crash that killed a man last night in Southwest Bakersfield. It happened just before 9:30 on District Boulevard. Police say the crash happened when the driver, 34-year-old Edgar Raymond Huerta Garcias was speeding and lost control of the car. According to BPD, Gutierrez was taken to the hospital and died. There's no word if drugs or alcohols were factors in that crash. Now an update to a story we brought you 2 years ago. A local family suing Mercy Hospital and 2 of its doctors for negligence over the death of a young mother and her infant son during childbirth. As 17's Ileana Capian reports, one of those doctors is facing accusations from the Attorney General with the Medical Board of California.
I remember just seeing her shaking viciously and trying to breathe really, and I just remember her jaw was just locked and she started turning blue, and I remember telling Tracy she's turning blue, and being on the phone and telling her come on, wake up, get out of it.
In the early hours of April 19th, Xavier De Leon woke up to his pregnant fiancee Demi Dominguez seizing in bed.
And she took one breath and kind of was relaxed, and I was okay, she's done, she's gonna kind of come back.
But she didn't come back.
My heart, I knew she wasn't there, and in my heart, since I knew she wasn't there, my next concern was getting that baby out, because obviously if there's no oxygen going to that baby, then he doesn't have a chance.
Later, Malachi was delivered by C-section. De Leon held both his fiancée and his son in his arms as they took their last breaths hours apart. As soon as the family received Demi's medical files, they began to question the health care, or lack thereof, that she received by Dr. Arthur M. Park, Dr. Hans Yu, and Mercy Hospital Southwest. When Demi was seen by Dr. Park at the hospital, Demi's mom, Tracy Dominguez, says he shamed her. Park was on call that day.
He said, "Well, what did you eat today?" And she said, "I had some Mexican food." And he told her, "Well, that's your problem. You are swollen because you ate Mexican food. And if you eat pizza, you would have got even bigger." So at that point, she was embarrassed, and we both were horrified.
Park referred Demi to Dr. Yu for follow-up care after discharging her the next morning. The family says Dr. Yu seemed to rush through her appointment and ignored her symptoms of blurred vision and difficulty breathing. The family is filing a lawsuit accusing the hospital, Dr. Park, and Dr. Yu of negligence in not spotting the preeclampsia, ultimately leading to her and Malachi's death. But the family says the medical board tried to get them to file the case together with Demi's, saying Malachi was not his own person.
He was a beautiful baby boy. And they call him a fetus. They call him like if he's nothing. And he's a boy, and his name is Malachi. And he needs to be recognized because his life mattered. It mattered very much.
On Wednesday, Attorney General Javier Becerra, along with the Medical Board of California, filed an accusation against Dr. Park, accusing him of negligence in their deaths. This is not the first time he's been in trouble. Dr. Park is currently on probation with the Medical Board and has been on probation before.
How many mothers and babies have to die before the Medical Board will pull somebody's license? How many families have to suffer loss because of medical negligence?
The family says they're going to continue fighting for change in honor of Demi and Malachi, and they have this final message.
To Dr. Park, how can you live with yourself knowing that you're doing the same thing over and over and harming babies and mothers and just not giving to the community? We need to stand together and stop this because it's not right.
Now, the family's fight continues next Friday. The hearing is open to the public, and the family plans to bring up changing the Medical Injury Compensation Act of 1975. President Joe Biden marked a major milestone yesterday, signing a $1.9 trillion COVID relief package, and some Americans can expect to see money in their bank accounts as early as this weekend. Now, Biden signed one of the largest stimulus packages in U.S. history. In the bill, most Americans will receive $1,400, helping those who earn less than $80,000 annually and couples who make less than $160,000 combined. According to the White House, nearly 160 million households will receive the payment. White House press secretary says those deposits could happen as soon as this weekend. All right, well, are you feeling lucky? Houchin Community Blood Drive Bank is hoping to spread some good fortune as we reflect on COVID-19 a year later. The blood bank has been especially hit hard amid the pandemic. Now, with St. Patrick's Day next week and the year anniversary of coronavirus hitting Kern County, Houchin is hoping to spread some luck. All next week, the blood bank will be hosting a Luck of the Draw promotion. Every donor will receive St. Patty's Day and COVID-related prizes ranging from gift cards to paper towels. To schedule an appointment, head to hcbb.com.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.